Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, welcome back to chapter 17 in the Gospel of St. Matthew straight through. I'm Brother Yerushalayim, the messenger of the day. And to my left, the reader.
Yo, Big Jowder. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right, let's start off with Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 10.
Isaiah.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10.
This is how you read the Bible. Come on.
For precept must be upon precept.
If you wonder why the Christian pastors don't understand the Bible, read.
For precept must be upon precept.
That's why, because precept has to be upon precept. The Bible explains itself. Come on.
Precept upon precept.
Read.
Line upon line.
Line upon line in the context, not nitpicking one verse and running off for an hour speaking on it. Come on.
Line upon line.
Line upon line. Why does God has to keep telling you twice, 2 and 3 times, because our people don't understand. Come on.
Here a little.
Here a little from one chapter or one verse.
And there a little.
And there a little from another chapter and another verse. You got to piece it together. It's one big puzzle. That's why it's hard for most people to understand it. It's not written like a novel. Proverbs 28 and verse 26.
Proverbs 28, verse 26.
Come on.
He that trusteth in his own heart.
He that trusts in his own mind and goes off on his own understanding.
Is a fool.
Is a what?
Is a fool.
So if you're not doing precept upon precept, you, according to the Bible, you're what?
Trusting in your own heart.
And you're a fool. So that's how you read the Bible. That's why we go precept upon precept to explain the Bible. Now, let's get to the message of the day in Matthew, the 17th chapter.
Matthew 17, starting at verse 1.
Come on.
And after 6 days, Mashiach taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother,
Read.
and bringeth them up into a high mountain
So
apart.
the Messiah grabbed Peter, James, and John and took them and said, come on and follow me, and brought them to a high mountain. Keep reading.
And was transfigured.
And was what?
Transfigured.
And was transfigured. Come on.
Before them.
Before them. Come on.
And his face did shine as the sun.
Read.
And his remnant was white as the light.
And his raiment was white as the light. So he took him up. He said, come on over here. Let me show you something. Then he brought him over to the mountain and he transfigured himself before them. And his face started shining and his raiment started shining white as light. Come on.
And behold, there appeared unto them Moses.
There appeared unto them, meaning John, Peter, and James. Come on.
And behold, there appeared unto them Moses.
Read.
And Elias.
And Elias.
Talking with him.
And talking with him. So when he brought them up and transfigured himself, then they seen Moses and Elias or Elijah speaking with him. Keep reading.
Then answered Peter and said unto Mashiach,
Come on.
Mashiach, is it good for us to be here?
They said, when they seen all this stuff going on, they said, hold on, are we supposed to be here right now while all this is going on? Not like, they didn't say it like how they try to depict in the movies.
Right.
Lord, is it good for us to be here? No.
In the King's English.
Right, yeah.
Say it's what?
Yeah, no. It was, are we supposed to be here right now while you doing all this?
Should we be thou here?
I feel like preaching in here.
That's Shakespeare.
Right, and it had nothing to do with that.
No.
Come on.
You want me to read it again?
Yeah.
Then answered Peter and said unto Mashiach, Is it good for us to be here? If thou wilt,
Read.
let us make here 3 tabernacles.
Come on.
One for thee.
One for thee.
And one for Moses.
And one for Moses.
And one for Elijah.
And one for Elijah. Come on.
5. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud.
A what?
A bright cloud.
A bright cloud. Now, is this talking about some type of the clouds you see that rain come out of? No, this has nothing to do with that. When it says a cloud, it's talking about the chariots of God. That's what it's referring to. Proof, go to Ezekiel chapter 1. This ain't talking about a cloud. The clouds in the Bible aren't talking about the clouds you see up there in the sky. This is another term for the chariot, what you call UFOs. The angelic beings, what they ride in. Give me Ezekiel 1 and verse 4.
And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north.
A what?
A whirlwind came out of the north.
Read.
A great cloud.
It was a what?
A great cloud.
A great cloud. We're gonna, as we read, we're gonna find out if that's talking about where the rain comes out of. Keep reading.
And a fire enfolding itself.
Come on.
And a brightness was about it.
Come on.
And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber. Out of the midst of fire.
Out of the fire. Now jump down to verse 14.
Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 14. Reads as follows. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of light.
So these things was moving quick. They was moving quick all the way around. Jump down to verse 6. Keep going. Matter of fact, keep going.
Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures.
Read.
With his 4 faces.
Come on.
The appearance of the wheels.
Of the what?
The wheels.
The clouds are what?
Wheels.
Come on.
And their work was like unto the color of a beryl.
Come on.
And they 4 had one likeness.
Read.
And their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel.
A wheel in the middle of the wheel. That's what he was saying. A wheel in the middle of a wheel. Jump to verse 19.
Verse 19. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth.
Were what?
Lifted up from the earth.
They lifted up from the earth. Come on.
The wheels were lifted up.
The wheels were lifted up. So this is talking about what these people we calling UFOs and stuff like that. Unidentified flying objects. That's what the clouds represent in the Bible. Yes, those things are real, but they're not unidentified. They're identified. The government knows exactly what those things are.
Preach.
Go back to Matthew 17.
Matthew 17.
And verse 5.
Verse 5. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them.
This was a UFO, what they were called a UFO. It's called the chariots or a whirlwind in the Bible. Those are all 3 synonymous. Come on.
And behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
Come on.
Hear ye him.
Hear ye him. That's what the voice out of the UFO or out of the chariot said. It said, hear ye him. Deuteronomy 18, verse 15.
Oh, boy. I thought I was just going to suggest that.
This is the prophecy coming to pass.
Oh, yeah.
All the way written from the time of Moses.
One of my favorite verses.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. 15. The Most High thy Yah will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren.
Of your brethren. I'm talking about of the children of Israel. Come on.
Like unto me.
He's going to be just like me. He's going to be a savior just like me. Come on.
Unto him ye shall hearken.
Read.
According to all that thou desirest of the Most High thy Yah in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying.
That's it right there. So it says, unto him shall ye hearken. So when you read in Matthew 17 right now, this is coming to pass. The fulfillment of this is coming to pass. Now, when this new prophet came, Yahushua, who you call Jesus Christ, now he's taking the spot of Moses. So he's saying, listen to him, because he's going to give you the full understanding on these laws that were brought forth. He's giving you the full, complete understanding how to love thy neighbor as thyself.
Oh, yeah.
And how to love the Most High, how to worship the Most High God. Something to say?
Can I read 19?
Yeah, go ahead.
19. Deuteronomy 18 and 19. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words.
Whosoever is talking about the whosoever of the children of Israel. Whosoever of the children of Israel will not listen unto
my words.
Come on.
Which he shall speak in my name.
Which he shall speak. That prophet that's to come, Yahushua, who you call Jesus Christ, who he speaks in my name.
I will require it of him.
You're going to have to pay. The blood going to be on your own head.
You're done.
So the correct understanding that the Messiah came to give, that's what we need to be following, the Messiah. Right. He's giving the correct breakdown on the Torah or the law. He's showing you exactly how to live and love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's right.
That was his mission. Come on. Matthew 17 and verse 6.
Matthew chapter 17, verse 6.
Come on.
And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their faces.
When the disciples heard it, talking about the voice that was in that chariot, when they heard it, they did what?
fell on their face.
They fell on their face. Come on.
And were so afraid.
And they were afraid. Why were they afraid? Exodus 20, verse 18.
Ooh, ooh.
Why were they afraid? They heard this voice. What was they so afraid of? Because according to the Christian cult, they teach that God is just whispering. He's some loving guy that's up there.
Oh, Lord thy God.
Right. Oh, the Lord thy God. Hear ye him. Is that what is that what happened when the chariots came? Let's find out.
18. Exodus 20, verse 18.
Come on.
And all the people saw the thunder and the lightning
And the lightning.
and the noise of the trumpet
And the noise of the trumpet.
and the mountain smoking.
Come on.
And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
Uh-huh.
And they said unto Moshe,
And they said, the children of Israel said unto Moses,
Speak thou with us,
you speak with us. Come on.
and we will hear.
And we will listen to you. Come on.
But let not Yahweh speak with us.
But let not what?
Yah speak with us.
Don't let that man that's up there in the chariot. We don't want to hear him. We don't want to hear him at all. Because if we hear him, wait, keep reading.
Lest we die.
Because there's a chance we might give up the ghost.
We're gonna die.
That's how terrifying the voice is of the Most High. There's a chance you might give up the ghost as soon as you hear the word. As soon as he begin to utter the first sign or the first part of the word, you might just give it up. So they said, let him stop talking to us right now, and we'll listen to you. So go back. Go ahead.
And that's where they get the law of Moses from.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But that's why they call it the law of Moses, like he was bringing out, because we said we don't want him to talk to us no more. Have Moses speak to us.
We'll hear him.
And we'll listen to him, because that voice up there is too terrifying.
We can't do that.
It said that it's the same thing with the Messiah. They said that the Messiah had his voice was the sound of many waters. In order to talk to 5,000 people, he wasn't whispering like they do, like they depict on the on all those Christian movies. Like he was just some whispering, some guy up there, effeminate whispering and all that. No, in order to talk to 5,000 people, you had to have bass in your voice.
Cried aloud.
He was an austere man. It was to the point where the disciples at one point were scared to ask him questions. Go back to, go ahead, you want to say something?
17 and 8.
Matthew 17 and 8, come on.
And when they had lifted up their eyes.
Wait, verse 7?
7. And Mashiach came and touched them and said, Arise.
And said, arise. He said, grabbed them and said, come on, get up.
Be not afraid.
Don't be afraid, come on.
And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man.
Right.
Save Mashiach.
So when they looked up, all of a sudden, all the Moses and Elias were gone. They didn't see that. They didn't see that those people anymore. Keep reading.
They were so scared. They passed out. They passed out.
No,
they passed out.
Right.
They fainted. They had to.
Right.
9.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Come on.
And as they came down from the mountain, Mashiach charged them, saying,
He said to them, "Come on,
tell the vision."
the what?
Tell the vision.
The what?
The vision.
The vision. So that's what it was. It was a vision. Elias and Moses wasn't really there. It was a vision that was given to them by Yahushua. He showed them this vision. Keep reading.
To no man.
Read.
Until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead.
Keep reading.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must come first?
Why did the scribes say that Elijah is supposed to come first? Why they say he's supposed to come before the Messiah? Keep reading.
And Mashiach answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things.
Elias is supposed to come and restore all things. Keep going.
12. But I say unto you that Elias is come already.
Elias came already. Keep going.
And they knew him not.
And they what?
Knew him not.
But they didn't know who he was. Elias came here. Elias stepped foot on the earth again. But they didn't know who he was. Keep going.
They knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed.
Come on.
Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them.
So they did whatever they wanted to do to John, and he's saying that I'm supposed to suffer the same exact way. Keep reading.
Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
Of who?
John the Baptist.
Of John the Baptist. How did they do whatever they wanted to do to John? They beheaded him, put him in prison, took his head off and had it on a platter.
For no cause.
That's what they did. And they didn't even know who he was. Did all that to that great man. And the same thing is supposed to happen, was supposed to happen to the Messiah. He's supposed to be given up and put to death as well. Keep reading.
So John didn't even make it over 33 because he was only 6 months older than Mashiach.
Yep. He was a young man. Young man that had to go. He had to give it up early.
Wow. 14. And when they were come to the multitude, there came unto him a certain man, kneeling down to him, saying, Mashiach, have mercy on my son.
Have mercy on my son.
For he's a lunatic.
He's a what?
A lunatic.
A lunatic. What you would call that today is somebody with a mental disorder.
Throw it off.
Right. Keep going. Watch.
It's sore vexed.
And he was sore vexed.
For oft times he falleth into the fire.
So he keep jumping in fires. Come on.
And oft into the water.
And he's jumping into the water. He's jumping in fire. His man is gone.
He throw it off.
That's what they call today a mental disorder. He's all over the jumping in the fires, falling in the water.
His elevator don't go all the way up to the top floor.
Right. So his mind is not all the way there.
Yeah.
Keep going.
16. And I brought him to thy disciples. And they could not cure him.
So he brought his son, which was a lunatic. He brought his son to the disciples of Yahushua, but they couldn't cure this man. Why not? Keep reading.
Then Mashiach answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation.
Come on.
How long shall I be with you?
Read.
How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me.
He said, bring this man to me. Come on.
And Mashiach rebuked the devil.
The what?
The devil.
The what?
The devil.
Showing you that all mental disorders, back then they knew that was a spirit that was on them. It was a spirit that was controlling these people to have you doing all to jumping in fires and falling in the water. Today, your sorcerers, the psychiatrists, they try to prescribe medications to suppress those spirits. It's nothing but sorcery. All that stuff is sorcery. Yes. They're trying to devise medication and treatment to suppress they can't most of the time they don't get rid of it. They only try to suppress it. And when you do research on mental disorders, a lot of those things are hard for them to get rid of. People who have disorders like depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, all those type of mental disorders. But according to the Bible, that's 18 again?
18 again. And Mashiach rebuked the devil.
And that's a devil. That's a demon that has inhabited your vessel. He got you. Come on.
And he departed out of him.
And he what?
Departed out of him.
So Yahushua got rid of that devil. The man wasn't jumping in no fires no more. After Yahushua rebuked the devil and told him to get up out of there. Come on.
And the child was cured from that very hour.
From that very hour. That's what it was. It wasn't no medications prescribed by a psychiatrist. That's what cured him. Come on.
Then came the disciples to Mashiach apart and said, why could not we cast him out?
Why couldn't we get this demon out? Why wasn't we able to do it? It's the same thing that the psychiatrists be asking. We giving all this medication. Why is it these people still having these mental disorders?
You know, that's something, because even in chapter 10, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out.
Right.
So why is it that here we're getting here and they still having the same issue?
Right.
That's a faith issue.
Exactly. And he's about to explain. Keep reading. He's about to explain. Verse 20.
And Mashiach said unto them, because of your unbelief.
Because of your what?
Unbelief.
Just like you said, faith. Unbelief. Unbelief. They didn't have enough faith to cast out these demons. Keep going.
For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
If you have faith and you truly believe, you'll be able to do some things.
You know, wow. I did a study on this mustard seed, and what it does, it's the mustard seed has the ability to take root anywhere. It can in a rock, and what the Bible says when you can say it to this mountain, remove hence to yonder place. And one verse says that you can tell this mountain to cast itself in the sea.
Right.
Well, in Jerusalem, the mustard seed can grow in the side of a mountain, and it'll part the rocks, and the rocks are just cast into the sea. So as a mustard seed, you have to know what a mustard seed does.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a study I did. I just want to put that in.
No,
there.
that was good. Good stuff. 21. So he says, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you're able to do with all types of things. So the disciples were lacking faith. That's why they couldn't cast this demon out. And this demon was a high-ranking demon. Keep going.
21. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting.
But some demons that people have that are attached to them,
That kind.
they need prayer and fasting. You can't come and just be, because some of these demons are strong. You got some high-ranking demons out there. You got a lot of these mental disorders. You suffering from extreme depression. A lot of the times you need prayer and fasting to get rid of that. Not some drugs and antibiotics and all that stuff. You need prayer and fasting to get rid of these mental disorders if you're suffering from them. Anxiety and bipolar. That's what you need. Personality disorders. You need prayer and fasting. Keep going.
Wow. 22. And while they abode in Galilee, Mashiach said unto them, the Son of Man shall be betrayed unto the hands of men.
Come on.
23. And they shall kill him.
And the Romans shall kill him. Come on.
And the third day he shall be raised again.
Come on.
And they were exceedingly sorry.
And they were sorry to hear that. They didn't want to let him go. They wanted him to stay with them forever. But he had a job to do. Keep going.
24. And when they were come into Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, doeth not your master pay tribute?
They came to him. They said, does Jesus or Yahushua, does he pay taxes? They came to Peter asking that.
Trying to get it.
Always trying to tempt. Satan is always there. Satan is always there. That's his job. So they came. Does he pay taxes? Come on.
He said, yes.
Yeah, he pays taxes. Come on.
And when he was come into the house, Mashiach prevented him, saying, what thinkest thou, Simon?
Come on.
Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute?
Who do the kings of the earth take custom or make to pay tribute or taxes or impose taxes on? That's the question. Come on.
Of their own children.
Of their own children or their own people. Come on.
Or of strangers.
Or of people from other nations. Who do they impose taxes on? They do it to their own people, their own governing people, or to strangers that are outside of their land, different tribes and families. Keep going.
Peter said unto him, of strangers.
They take it from strangers. That's who other people rip off and rob and impose taxes on. They do it to strangers. That's just the way it is. You don't do it to your own people. You do it, for the most part, you do it to strangers. Come on.
Mashiach said unto him, then are the children free?
Come on.
Wow. 27. Notwithstanding, lest we should offer them.
Lest we should offend them.
Yeah, offend them. I'm sorry. Lest we should offend them.
Come on.
Go thou to the sea and cast a hook and take up the fish that first cometh up.
Read.
And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of money.
A piece of money.
That take
and
give unto me.
And give unto them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Give unto them for me and thee.
And thee. So he went out taxes for both of them. The Messiah had no problem paying the taxes. This ain't his kingdom right now anyway. This is Satan's whole setup right now.
Yes, it is.
So he's just playing the role. Lest they should be offended. Because everybody was trying to do was find some way to catch him. They're trying to catch him up. So he was playing the game. I'll pay the taxes. I'll go along with the flow. Because his kingdom is the one to come.
Until my time comes.
His kingdom is the one that's coming. So he played the game. No, he was blameless. Nobody couldn't catch him up.
Yeah, blameless. That's right.
That's exactly what he was. Right. Blameless. He
had to be blameless.
He had to play blame. He was blameless. He did all what he had to do. So you got something to say?
Yeah, he was blameless. That struck something in me. When we had the Passover lamb, we had to examine it.
Yes.
It had to be blameless.
Yes.
So at the same time he being tempted,
right,
he's also setting the stage for his blameless status.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yep.
That's some good stuff right there.
And yep.
That's some good stuff, y'all.
Right, exactly. No, I think that's a little deep. The Passover lamb.
That's some good stuff right there.
The Passover lamb had to be blameless.
It had to be. It could not have spot.
Right, or blemish.
Could not.
That's what the whole Passover was representing.
And the whole Galilee, Capernaum, all that, he was being the wilderness, tempted
and examined.
The whole time. The whole ministry.
Yeah, examined.
So now we have to be the same way. We are going to be examined.
Yep.
Wow. That's taking up that cross.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's right. So this chapter right here, it's a short chapter. It's pretty self-explanatory. So it's not too much to go into, but we hope that you've been edified and that you got the full understanding of Matthew the 17th chapter. And if you have any questions or comments, always leave them on the comment board. And with that, we're going to close with Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13.
Ecclesiastes 12, chapter 12, verse 13.
Come on.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
This is the conclusion of the whole matter. If you didn't understand many of this is a simple chapter, but if you didn't comprehend it, that's fine. This is the conclusion of everything that we just read and broke down. Read.
Fear Yah.
Fear God, the creator of heaven and earth.
And keep his commandments.
Up. You know we got to grab one commandment. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Let me see what I want. I think I want Deuteronomy 22.
Right to it.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 22? Mm-hmm. That's the one the Most High want then. Let's do 22 and... What do I want to do? I thought... Verse 1.
22 verse 1.
22 and verse 1.
All right, let's see what that says. Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 1.
Come on.
Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox.
Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox. Come on.
Or his sheep.
Or his sheep.
Go astray.
Go astray, meaning leave, maybe leave the pastured area. Go off somewhere else where they're not supposed to go. Come on.
And hide thyself from them.
And hide thyself from them, meaning you act like you ain't seeing where they're going. You see your brother's stuff going and going off.
That ain't none of my business.
Right, that's none of my business.
Now, you can't shit no tea off there. You can't Kermit that one.
right. Now,
you can't Kermit that one.
Right, and you say, oh, that's not none of my business. Mm-hmm. Come on.
Thou shalt in any case bring them again unto thy brother.
You're supposed to go and grab those sheep or oxen and bring them to your brother. You're not supposed to sit there and let them go off. And you know that your brother's that's what your brother uses for his work and how he earns a living. Keep reading.
And if thy brother be not nigh unto thee.
And if your brother's not there when you try to bring him back, come on.
Or if thou know him not.
And if you don't know who he is, maybe he's somebody up the street that you've never met before. Come on.
Then thou shalt bring it unto thy own house.
Then you bring it to your own house. Come on.
And it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it.
So you bring it to your own house until somebody come looking for it. Just the same way when somebody got a lost dog or something, they post up signs, and you see the sign, you have it already in your house. So you wait for somebody to come looking, like, hey, I lost 3 sheep today. Anybody know where they're at? Keep going.
Thou shalt restore it to him again.
And when he come, you give it right back to him. Keep going.
In like manner shalt thou do with his ass.
With the ass or the donkey, you do the same thing. Come on.
And so shalt thou do with his raiment.
And if he find clothes, you do the same exact thing. Come on.
And with all lost things of thy brother.
And with everything else that your brother loses. Anything else that he might lose and you know it's not yours. Come on.
Which he has lost.
Come on.
And thou hast found. Shalt thou do likewise. Thou mayest not hide thyself.
You might not supposed to hide yourself. Now, somebody, please explain to me, the Christians, why would the Messiah come to do away with that, since you say that the law is done away with? This ain't in the 10 Commandments.
Well, they have to say that they did away with it to justify slavery.
Exactly. And this is, why would somebody come and do away with this law? This is part of loving thy neighbor as thyself. That's what this is. Loving thy neighbor. You see somebody's stuff off and lost, you take it and redeem it and wait for somebody to come get it. That's called loving thy neighbor as thyself. Right here in the law. So with that, we look forward to next Shabbat, if it's the Most High's will, to keep bringing out these messages. If you have any questions or comments, then feel free to let us know.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom. Hallelujah.